Hi, this is Glenda, and last year I made a ballerina soap for a Christmas craft show inspired by the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker Ballet. I made the ballerinas then with a mold, and I wanted to see if I could make a version of it that went all the way through the soap. So I created some extruder discs for it. What I have here is the dress disc, which worked out well. Before this, I had extruded the arms, legs, and head, which proved to be a little difficult. So now I'm going to do the difficult part of trying to put everything together. This is the head, and that's the dress. So I'm trying to match them. And then I have here some distilled water. And I'm going to use a brush to grab some of the distilled water, put it on the crevice where the neck is supposed to go, and just put it together. And then I'm going to leave it alone for a few minutes to see if that attaches well. This doesn't look like much right now, and I need to do the same thing with everything else: the arms, the hair, the legs. I think that'll be tricky. Now I'm attaching the arms, and I made a small ridge so that it has something to stick to. Now the dress is somewhat soft because I just extruded it. The arms, I extruded them about 2-3 days ago, so they're firmer, and I find that is helping because then I can press them against the dress and they're not changing shapes. So I put the water as glue, and then I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to leave it on this position so that gravity helps keep it in that. I usually add confetti soap to this design, so I chop some pieces left over from other soaps. Here's my soap recipe. There will be a link to it down below. For colorant, I'm using purple vibrance from Nurture soap, and I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon for about 30 ounces of oils because I want a really pale or soft purple. I mix this into the oils first since it will be a single color soap, and it wasn't dispersing really well with a spatula, so I did have to use a stick blender. This is the fragrance that I will be using, Black Raspberry Vanilla, and I also used sodium lactate at a rate of 1% of the weight of oils. As a chelator and to help prevent DOS, I'm using tetrasodium EDTA, and this is used at a rate of 0.5%. My camera did not film when I added the light water solution to the oils, but by now I'm blending it. I separated a small portion of the soap batter because I thought it would be best if the bottom part was firm to hold the ballerina embed. However, I think I overdid it with the blending as the soap batter was actually too thick. This later created some air pockets at the bottom of the bar that I had to scrape off. I use Black Raspberry Vanilla fragrance, for which I'm currently looking for a substitute since the usage rate dropped under the 49th IFRA amendment, but I did want to use the remaining portion that I had. So this is odd. The first batter that I poured looks like a nice lavender, and the one that went on top is like a dirty purple. So I'm not sure why that has happened. On this side there's more evenness. Lots of air pockets. That's not good. I'm gonna cut it. I can tell you now that eventually the soap color evened out. I believe what had happened was that the first layer saponified faster since it was poured at a thicker trace. Because this part has holes, I'm going to trim that. Okay, so I'm gonna get the parts ready. It's the next day, so they're still moist and soft, which is not ideal, but I want what I'm going to put here to stick. So in that sense, it's good that they're still moist. Here are some final pictures of how the soaps look at the end, and I do have a couple of these available on my website store if in case you want to check them out. I'm going to link them below. Thank you. Bye.